What is up, my beautiful mangoes and everyone over at Typhoon Cinema? My name is the Iron Mango, and today I am bringing you guys another brand new top 10 Five Nights at Freddy's 4 video. Essentially, today's video, we're going to be covering the top 10 facts about the secret nightmare animatronic. And if you guys are excited for today's video, don't be sure to sub down, get a like. Let's try to go for 1,000 likes on today's video on the Typhoon Cinema channel. Also, be sure to check out my channel down below in the description if you guys haven't already. It is youtube.com/KingWaffles97 or the Iron Mango. I do post a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's content if that is what you guys do enjoy watching. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into today's top 10 facts about the Nightmare animatronic. Number 10. Nightmare is the only animatronic to not appear in any of the teasers for Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So essentially, guys, if you do remember, back before the game actually did come out, I know it seems like ages ago, but back before Five Nights at Freddy's 4 actually did come out, there used to be teasers that went up on ScottGames.com. You had a teaser for Nightmare Freddy, and then Nightmare Freddy had the Freddys on the teaser image as well. There was a teaser for Nightmare Chica, which also had Nightmare Cupcake, or whatever you guys want to call the cupcake, was on that teaser as well. There was a Nightmare Bonnie teaser, there was a Nightmare Foxy teaser, there was a Nightmare Fredbear teaser, and even Plush Trap had its own teaser as well. But Nightmare did not have a teaser. It was the only animatronic to not appear in any of the teasers on ScottGames.com. So essentially, we had no clue who Nightmare was going into Five Nights at Freddy's 4. We had no clue who he was. We had no clue like what he did or what he looked like. We didn't even know he existed, to be honest, because he wasn't in any of the teasers. We didn't even know he existed until we went to the extras menu after completing Night 6 in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So he's a completely unknown character. He's a completely mysterious character as well. But that was number 10 in the top 10 facts about Nightmare. Number 9. Nightmare is translucent. If you guys didn't know already, if you actually take the image of Nightmare in the extras menu and you brighten it up a ton, you can see that his skin is actually like a see-through. It's kind of like a glass coating around the endoskeleton, I guess you could say. It's very it's not like completely see-through, it's not transparent, but you can definitely see some stuff inside of Nightmare. We can see the endoskeleton or parts of the endoskeleton. We can even see a brain, which I'm gonna get onto in just a little bit. But essentially, guys, his skin is translucent, or his coat around Nightmare is translucent. Maybe it's just like a glass cage or a shadow that covers his innards. We're not sure, guys. We thought he's just like this black, scary animatronic that's super dark. It's like death itself, but it actually isn't black. If you guys do brighten up the image, he actually is just glass. He's just a clear animatronic, and then just because it's so late out, it's nighttime. That's why he actually does appear to be black in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game. Like during the night segments, it's just dark out. That's why he appears to be very dark, I guess you could say. We can only see his eyes really in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Number 8. Nightmare is the only animatronic to actually have an entire night named after him in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, or her. We're not sure if it's a him or a her, guys. Don't be sexist, we don't know if it's a him or her, but Nightmare is the only animatronic who actually does have a night named after themselves, I guess you could say. So essentially, Nightmare, if you guys do remember, after completing Night 6, or after you complete like the main game of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, you can go over to the extras menu, and there is an option about Nightmare at the very bottom of the extras menu, and that's essentially just the Night 7, and that is named after Nightmare because Nightmare actually appears in that night, and he is very, very scary in that night. And there's also the 2020 mode secret where Nightmare appears in as well, but there's no animatronic that's actually named 2020, but there is an animatronic that is named Nightmare, and that's why it's called Nightmare Mode, or Night 7 is called Nightmare Mode in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Number 7. Now for number 7, guys, we're gonna go back to the extras menu just like number 9, and we can see if we click on the jump scares in the extras menu, Nightmare actually does not have a jump scare in the extras menu. He's the only animatronic without a jump scare in the extras menu. There's Foxy, there's Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Plush Trap, even the cupcake is in the in the jump scares in the extras menu. You do have a little bit of a different voice in the extras menu as well, but there is no jump scare for Nightmare in the extras menu, which is pretty freaking scary, guys. Not gonna lie, that he actually doesn't even have a jump scare in the extras menu, even though he does have like a semi jump scare in the actual games. He has that static image, but he doesn't have a jump scare in the extras menu. So that's the number 7 fact about Nightmare. Number 6. Nightmare is in the final FNAF teaser, or many people believe to be the final FNAF teaser, or the thank you teaser on ScottGames.com. So if you guys do remember, a little while back, maybe like 2 weeks ago, Scott Cawthon actually did update his website, ScottGames.com, and he uploaded a photo with all the animatronics across all of the games, I guess you could say, besides the Phantoms, the Shadows, and JJ. There were none of the animatronics that people believe to have been hallucinations, but there still is Nightmare. So if Nightmare is actually hallucination, and none of the animatronics that were hallucinations are actually on that final teaser, that final image on scottgames.com. What really is Nightmare, guys? Is Nightmare an hallucination? I don't know, guys. I think Nightmare actually might be real in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 because he is on scottgames.com in the final FNAF teaser, the thank you teaser, and none of the animatronics that are actually hallucinations are on that teaser image as well. The Phantoms aren't there, the Shadow animatronics aren't there, and the JJ is not there as well. So I'm not sure, guys. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Number 5. Nightmare is the only animatronic in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 without a real jump scare. He just has the static image and the gargoyle, so I was like, oh, you guys know what the sound is. It's kind of like the Fredbear sound, but it's a little bit quieter and a little bit different as well. But he just has the static image and the gargoyle sound when he actually does jump scare you, or when you get the game over screen, I guess you could say. And it's very similar actually to Golden Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, who didn't have a jump scare as well. He just had that image of his mask just appearing in the screen, and then you get the game over screen. Well, actually, your game would shut down in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. But that's the number 5 fact about Nightmare in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Of the top 10 facts, Nightmare does not have a real jump scare. He's the only animatronic in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 without a real jump scare. Number 4. Now to tag on to the number 5 top 10 fact about Nightmare, also similar to Golden Freddy, just like in the number 5 fact, Nightmare's jump scare actually restarts your game. It completely resets the game. It doesn't like delete your progress or anything, but your whole game like doesn't shut down, but it goes back to the startup screen where it says warning with like the flashy lights and other stuff like that, and the scary images and jump scares. And so it just like resets your game, which is very similar actually to Golden Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, which would actually close your game. Your entire game would just shut down. It would just like, it would be like pressing the escape button, I guess you could say, and shutting down the game and closing the game whenever you get the Golden Freddy jump scare. So the Nightmare jump scare actually resets your game. So Scott actually, like, I think he's trying to make it similar to Golden Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but he did make it a little bit less of a hassle of having to reopen the game. He just brought you back to the warning screen, and then you go back to the main menu and other cool stuff like that. So since you guys, Nightmare actually does reset your game in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is very similar to how Golden Freddy would actually shut down your game after you got the jump scare in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Number 3, Nightmare has a humanoid body with a spinal cord, a brain, other cool stuff like that. There's actually no endoskeleton skull in Nightmare, because we can actually see through Nightmare because he is transparent or translucent. We can actually see through Nightmare, and we can see that he has no endoskeleton skull. He just has a brain that's in his head and then a big mouth as well. So I don't know, guys, maybe this could be signifying that Nightmare is the ultimate nightmare for the child, or possibly even the child himself. We don't know, guys. Maybe it's like an actual humanoid type of being that was rebuilt into the animatronic. I don't know. When Plushtrap says at the end of night 6, I will put you back together, maybe he meant that he's gonna put the kid back together in Nightmare. I'm not sure, guys. That would make sense, though, for how Nightmare could actually exist in real life. That's why he'd be in the teaser image. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. This could also be a reference to the bite of 87, because there's like a brain, so maybe it's trying to reference the bite of 87 being a bite to the brain. I'm not sure, guys. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Number 2, Nightmare only appears after 4 a.m. on both nights 7 and 8. He's not in any of the other nights in the game, and after Nightmare does appear, there are no other animatronics that actually do attack you while he is active in the game, so essentially you only have to really worry about Nightmare. But Nightmare is so hard. I died so many times in Nightmare, guys, not even gonna lie, when I was trying to complete Nightmare mode. Oh my god, Nightmare, it literally is death itself, and that's kind of like what the metaphor is supposed to be. Like, if he only appears on night 7 and 8 after 4 a.m., does that mean that Nightmare is actually death itself, that he only appears after the child actually does die? Because we do hear the heartbeat monitor flatlining at the end of the night 6 minigame, and then we go to night 7, and there is Nightmare. He only appears after the child actually does die, so it could possibly mean that if we do play as that child in the minigames, that it's possibly like death itself, Nightmare is death itself, or possibly if we actually play as the brother in the actual night sequences, the brother of the child of the bite of 87 or the bite of 83, whatever you guys think it is. If we're playing as that brother, maybe Nightmare is actually his little brother that he actually did kill. It's just like haunt his conscious, eating him alive in the night segments, and the child is just it was Nightmare put back. It was the child put back together into Nightmare. Plushtrap put back the child together into Nightmare, and the brother only sees it after the little brother does die, and it's like his guilty conscience eating him alive, knowing that he actually killed his brother, and he has to live with that guilt if he's having nightmares about it. And then he finally sees this Nightmare animatronic, which signifies his brother's death. Number 1, and now for the number 1 fact about Nightmare in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. He has the exact same body structure as Nightmare Fredbear in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The only difference is that he is now black with a top hat that is yellow or gold, I guess you could say, and then a tie that is yellow or gold as well. While Nightmare Fredbear is actually like a goldish color, a brownish goldish color, and then he does have a purple top hat and a purple tie as well. So maybe Nightmare is actually a dark shade of purple. We don't actually see that, so maybe they're just like flip the tie and the actual skin colors. I'm not sure, guys. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But this could possibly mean the Nightmare is actually a shadow version of Fredbear, a Shadow Fredbear, and maybe Shadow Freddy is actually just Shadow Fredbear. Just think about that for a second, guys. Maybe the animatronic that we assumed to be Shadow Freddy for so long is actually Shadow Fredbear, and that Shadow Fredbear is actually Nightmare. Just think about that for a second, guys. Even the jump scare image for Nightmare is the exact same jump scare, or the final jump scare image, or like frame, I guess you could say, of the actual Fredbear jump scare. It just like flipped around. It's like a 360, not 360, it's like a mirrored view, I guess you could say. And if you like mirror the image, it's the exact same image, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's the exact same image. So maybe Nightmare is actually Shadow Fredbear and Shadow Fredbear is actually Shadow Freddy. So Nightmare is actually Shadow Freddy as well. I'm not sure, guys. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Ponder that question for right now. But that's going to be the end of today's top 10 facts about Nightmare. If you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely sure to slap that like and a like button. Trying to go for 1,000 likes on today's video on the Typhoon Cinema channel. That'll make my heart go pitter-patter, and everyone over at Typhoon Cinema's heart go pitter-patter as well. Be sure to check out my channel if you guys haven't already as well down below in the comment section, youtube.com/KingWaffles97, or you can just search the Iron Mango in the YouTube search bar if you guys want to make it a little bit easier. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hit that little red button that says subscribe on both the Typhoon Cinema channel and my channel as well if you guys did enjoy today's video. And hope you guys have a nice, safe, wonderful day.